So, can you believe it? 25th of December already, and today I am talking about how to make the most of your Christmas day if you are without your beloved kiddos, as I have been for the last several Christmases actually, and I'll explain how that sort of came about in a few minutes. But I think also just to start this, if you have been through the courts, you will know already that you might be struggling with a decision that the court has made on your behalf, and they are useless at understanding when somebody's lying. They are useless at recognising narcissists, because I know a lot of you out there have issues, have relationships with exes, or who have had relationships with exes who were narcissistic. It's a very difficult thing to deal with. In fact, it's virtually impossible. So just remember that sometimes courts just do what they think is the fair decision, and sometimes it can be a really shitty deal for you and for the kids. This is not pro-mum, pro-dad, it's pro-kids actually, and it's pro-Christmas. But I just wanted to preface this with the fact that courts do cock up sometimes, and if you've got social services involved or social workers, they cock up too. I think you as the parent know deep down in your heart what the right option is. Maybe not be the best option for you, but the right option is for the kids. I feel really, really strongly that Christmas is about children. It's their time. It's their time for fun. And it's the magic of Christmas that makes it so fun for children. And despite what we want individually as a human being, or as how we feel we have rights as a parent, I strongly believe we are our children's guardians. We don't own them. We just help to show them along the way. And as hard as it can be when you don't have your kids with you at home on Christmas Day, because there's a lot made of Christmas. I mean, we get one day a year, and there's I've just been down my lane with my dogs. Everybody's having their Christmases. The drives are full of cars. There's music coming from the houses. I can smell cooking. I can smell their log burners and their fires. I have to say, I get a real sense of joy from being out in that experience, even though I am at home alone with my furry friends, and that's it. So I just wanted to sort of iterate how I have done it and how it's worked really, really well for us, in the hope that it might help you too. At the end of the day, if you've got your little ones and they desperately want to be with you this Christmas Day and they're not, I know how that feels, and it can be soul destroying, and it can rip your heart apart. I've been there. However, I don't really sort of want to go into my details too much, because I don't think it would be respectful of my ex-husband either. And actually, the way it's worked has worked incredibly well over the long term. When my two were little, we didn't have things like the mobile phones and stuff like that, so I wasn't able to be in touch with them when they were away, although I did phone them on a daily basis. But this is sort of just to help you cope with your mindset on that day when you are possibly feeling a bit crushed and possibly feeling a bit bruised and a bit lonely. So essentially, once that decision is made, it's done. I think it's really important to remember that Christmas Day is just one day a year. And yes, there is an awful lot of hype about it, but you can have your Christmas Day on any day you please around the Christmas holidays. I think it has to be within reason. You don't want Christmas Day in July, but I think, you can structure it so it happens when it suits you, whether it's before the real Christmas Day or after the real Christmas Day. Now, I used to have my two, because I was the main caregiver. So although the courts did try and make me, the courts didn't, the legals tried to do the chummy mum thing, and but maybe they'd like to go there. I really feel that kids, if you are the main caregiver, whether you're the dad or the mum, while children are little, they want to be in the home where they live most of the time. It's just the way it goes. I think if you're able to invite the ex round, even if it's for a cup of coffee or a glass of wine, just to have a bit of time with the kids if they can. I understand a lot of relationships couldn't accommodate that and wouldn't want to, and that's absolutely fine as well. You have to kind of work out what works best for you. However, as soon as mine were old enough, I left my husband when they were 4 and 6, so as soon as mine were a little bit older, we decided to, he had them for Christmas, and I had them for the new year, because we celebrate our new year. Often I'm with family. My family live like right the way across the other country, hence, why I'm nowhere today except for home. And there's a reason for that too, and I'll go into that in a few minutes as well, because actually today's a really special day as far as I'm concerned. I know they're healthy and they're well and they're happy. We have phones. Actually, mine can now drive. They're young adults. But during those formative years, you kind of have to just allow yourself to release that sadness once they've gone, once you've waved them off. And big, big, big deep breath, maybe shed a few tears, but then focus on how you are going to prepare if you have your Christmas after Christmas Day, how you're going to make those preparations to make it extra special when your children do come back home. Or if you've already had your Christmas, then revel in the memories, but take time out for you. It's really important. I think as parents, we all feel incredibly guilty when we're not doing something. And over Christmas, we feel like we should be doing something related to our kids. I mean, this morning, I've done lots of cleaning, I've done lots of washing, I've done ironing for the kids. I'm about to start to do some baking for the kids. And then later I'm going to help Father Christmas wrap the Christmas presents for the kids. That's how I spend my Christmas. I love it. And the first Christmas when I didn't have them, yes, it was really strange not having them on Christmas Day. However, we tend to have our Christmas Day slightly later than the traditional Christmas Day. So everybody else has had their Christmases and we've still got ours to look forward to, which is just joyous. And we had an absolute blast. It just worked really, really well. It was fun. I remember we had a fit of the giggles. I can't remember what it was over. It was so painful because when you laugh so much, it just worked incredibly well. And so every single Christmas since then, I don't think I've had my kids for about the last 6-7 years for Christmas. They'll be coming back soon. We celebrate our New Year together, but we also have our Christmas Day on normally the 27th or the 28th of December. And so I think just remember that although Christmas Day officially is on the 25th of December, you can make it whatever day you want it to be. And you can make it as special and as joyous and as fun as you want it to be. And also remember, especially when children are younger, no matter what has happened between you and your ex or your ex-to-be, kids still have a sense of loyalty to both parents, 100%. Whether you like to admit it or not, they do. They might not tell you that. They might tell you things that they think you want to hear. But deep down, they have a sense of loyalty to both parents. And it's for us as adults and as caring, loving parents to acknowledge that. And you don't have to talk as though the sun shines out of your ex's bum, because from your point of view, it probably does not. But from the children's point of view, just to be neutral and to maybe be excited, help build up some excitement around going to the other parent's house for Christmas, because you want them to enjoy it. You want it to be a really special day for them too. I think it's so important that we don't give them our emotional baggage. It's really hard not to, but it's an investment you will make long term, and eventually those children do grow up, and I'm proof of the pudding is that when they grow up, they're obviously able to make their own decisions. They're able to say, yes, I want to be there for Christmas, or I'd want to be here for the new year. And we discuss it every year. If they decided they definitely wanted to be home on Christmas Day, we'd have Christmas Day here. They're old enough to say that's what they want. However, it rolls with us really, really well like this. So find what works for you. And it's not necessarily going to be the easiest thing to do, but you will find a way through it. And so long as your children are safe, you want to make their Christmas as magical as possible, whether they're with you or whether they're with the other parent. That's all that matters. It's that they have that amazing Christmas. And when they come back to you, then you can, make it as special as you possibly can do. Because all they want is love, and they want parents that they know love them, and they want parents that they know can, I suppose, wish them well, each other well, wish the children well to be spending Christmas with that parent, but also, as hard as it might seem at times, to wish that the other parent well too, because it allows them to go away and have their Christmas with the other parent, but then to come home and tell you about it with fun, rather than coming home and telling you something that they think you want to hear, and by diluting and damping down their version of Christmas with the other parent. So I think always, if you're able to put, as hard as it is, if you're able to remember that the magic should be for Christmas should be for the kids, that's a pretty good foundation to build the rest of it upon. And then the things that I've done in the past, and which I still do now, like today I've had a very busy day. I've not had any sort of Christmasness about it at all yet. I am going to start to help Santa wrap the presents in a few moments on my ironing board. That's a tip. If you've still not wrapped up your presents, use an ironing board, because it makes it so much easier. The years I've spent on my knees killing my back and then standing up, I've lost all feeling in my legs because the blood's been restricted. If you do it over an ironing board, so much easier. So use your ironing board, get your presents wrapped, have some fun with it. If you drink wine or have your favourite tipple, avoid things that make you depressed though. Remember that alcohol over a certain amount does have a depressive tendency on you. So if you're one of those people that knows that alcohol makes you cry, makes you angry, just back off it a bit, because you want to support yourself on this day. This is your opportunity to have a Christmas day where you can perhaps chill out a bit and have your special meal, have your special drinks, watch some Christmas films, do what makes you feel relaxed and happy, and wish your kids well, knowing that they're coming back. And if you've still not had your Christmas, well, then you've got all the excitement to do. I think another great thing to do is to make your own Christmas crackers and put little presents inside. You can get so creative with Christmas crackers. Everybody has it inside of toilet rolls or kitchen rolls. Then all you have to do is put some paper in. You can even buy the cracker bits, the bits that explode on the internet, I think off Amazon. So making your own Christmas crackers is pretty simple. But even if you don't have time, don't worry about the snappy bit. Most young kids are afraid of those things anyway. They used to terrify me as a young girl. So just make some pretty crackers and then, put some special presents in. Even if it's just like a special chocolate or pretty stone you've found outside. It doesn't need to be amazing. Just something to show that you've created something for them. I haven't done it this year, but most years I will obviously send them away. I will hide a Christmas card in their luggage, and I also normally give them a little present. And particularly when they were young, I used to, there'd be maybe one or two secreted in their luggage, so there'd be a surprise when they woke up in the other parent's house for their Christmas day. And it's just a nice way of them remembering that you're there and that you're with them in spirit, but perhaps not in body. So that's another idea. So I think, the most important thing is to remember to just have a day that you are going to feel enhanced yourself. Use it as a day to fill your own batteries. Use it as a day to give yourself some grace, step back a bit, and just be kind to yourself. Languishing in a hot bath, whatever takes your fancy, I think it's a great opportunity to do that. And then obviously just prepare so that when they're back, then if you've not already had your Christmas date, then you get your opportunity to do it. I mean, yesterday we chopped a load of wood, so we've got a massive log pile ready for when they do come back for Christmas. And I've sent some messages. I've been in touch with my parents. I've been in touch with my kids this morning, and I might give them another quick call this evening, see how they've got on. But really, their day is with their dad today. He has a girlfriend. She's got a couple of kids as well. So, they're having their family fun there. And the last thing that I would want for them is to think I was at home alone, moping and sad and depressed. I want them to have the best Christmas ever. And I know that when they come home, we're going to have our best Christmas ever again. So try and ignore the fact that the 25th of December is where everybody, obviously it is Christmas Day, but it doesn't have to be your Christmas Day. So I hope that helps. I do appreciate how sad and how difficult it can be if you've not got your babes at Christmas, particularly when they're little. But sometimes it's one of those things that it's kind of got to accept that that's the way it is, and just spend time creating beautiful things for when they come home, but also giving yourself a bit of time. And maybe, if they've been away this year, then it's your turn next year. So, I think it's really important to keep that fairness of maybe they're at some with the other parent one year and then they're with you the next year. And I do appreciate that sometimes, you know, extra family members of the other partner don't make life easy either. Hey Bridget, lovely to see you. So you kind of have to just rise above it. If they know their behavior or what they're saying to your children or indirectly to you, if they know that that's going to really sting and hurt you, the chances are they're going to do more of it. If you can show that you've had this most amazing day yourself and that you're going to have the best ever Christmas when your kids come home, well, then it's kind of like the proverbial two fingers up to them. Because if they think, ooh, she's had a great time or he's had a great time, how dare they? They should be moping and sad. It's kind of, you know, you've won that battle too. And there are some real shits out there. And I get it. I know there are some really manipulative and deceitful and horrible people who really want to hurt you and cause you harm on a day when they know you're emotionally probably going to be a bit low. But just give them the proverbial middle finger and don't let them have that sense of satisfaction, because you have an amazing day. You can make it special for you, and you can also prep things for your kids. So right now, as soon as I press end on this, I'm going to make some more mince pies, and I'm going to go and make my Cointreau truffles. Now I will, the recipe is quite long, so what I will do is do a screenshot of the recipe later. So if you want to do some Cointreau truffles, all you have to do is take a screenshot of the Insta story, which I'll share later. They are amazing. They're really, really, they look crispy on the outside. They're super strong. They're delicious. They're like mush in the middle, and they're just one of my favourite all time. And I stupidly cleaned my floor this morning, which is not a good idea before I do Cointreau truffles, because they are quite messy to make. Oh, but they're worth it. So that's what I'm off to do today now. And I'm also going to pour myself a glass of fizz in a little while. And I'm going to put a film on. Hopefully there's something reasonable to watch. BBC, you can never be sure. And I just wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas. I hope that what I've shared might have been helpful for you if you are feeling a little bit lonely today. But there are things that you can do. And I think just go for it. It's one day, and Christmas can be any day that you choose. And remember that you always love your kids will always love you. And when you swap presents, when you wake up and they run through and it's the Christmas day, it doesn't matter whether that's on the 25th or any other day of the week. So have a great time. Thank you for joining me, and I wish you well, and I will catch you soon. You take care.